What's going on, everyone? Yes, it's me. It's Martina Sellers, your mental health hygienist, coming to you always live and in living color from Southern California, where the sun is always shining. And we're so glad that you're joining us for our edition of Wellness Wednesdays with none other than the Queen herself, Dr. Marquita Story. Let's bring her on already. Come on, Dr. Story.
They're good to
Dr.
see you
Story.
once again,
Listen, always good seeing you. How are you, beautiful? How's everything going out there in Pennsylvania?
baby. It's going the best it can. If it was any better, I'd bust.
I
It has
understand.
been
I
so good.
understand.
Yes.
Yes, you're looking fabulous as always. Listen, just
Th-
like a true queen. Come on,
Thank you,
looking
sir.
well, living
Thank
well,
you.
being well.
That's exactly what we're doing, and I thank God for these Wellness Wednesdays and for you bring
Yes.
all of your experience, your know-how, and your therapeutic I mind to us
Mm,
being well. So I'm excited about this first step into wellness, and so thank you for
I am
doing this.
too. No, listen, we are always a team. Now, we have to admit, we're doing this the right way this time because last week, see, they
Baby,
left us to it. Let me tell you something. I don't know what everything we tried did not work. So it shows you we are dependent upon the Mac in the back, and we're so glad he is really back to help us out
baby, let
because
me tell you
we
something.
tried it all.
We tried it all. Listen, we tried the cell phone. we tried everything. I was like, Marty, he typing in the chat. He on the phone. I was like, where is the back in the back? Where is he? And we did the best we could. So hopefully a spirit of forgiveness just flood over the
Yes,
airway and they coming back
yes.
with us so they can hear it right and they can get it right. We're a team
I
and
know
we try
that's
our
right.
best. But let me tell you what I know, like my eyes are brown. We ain't leaving without the Mac in the back no more. We're not doing
That's right. No, sir. No, ma'am. Listen, we can't do it without the Mac in the back, and we're
it.
so
No,
grateful
Lord.
to him. And we thank all of our, you and I both have some amazing followers and
Yeah,
people who follow us and go, and we want to thank each and every one of you. So again, let
yeah,
us know where you're listening from today.
yeah,
We want to just say thank you, especially in the spirit of Thanksgiving.
yes.
And as we're approaching the holiday season, Dr. Story, talk to us about because you have the purpose of this is really to create wellness within our community because I
Yeah.
believe that a lot of us don't know what wellness and we're saying a holistic approach to wellness. I believe,
Mhm.
Dr. Story, we don't understand what it looks like or feels like. So that
Yeah.
can become very problematic as we're chasing something that we don't understand. Mm.
Listen, Mark, you're hitting the nail on the head. One of the things I really believe is that
Mm-hmm.
we are taught how to be successful. We're taught how to
Mm-hmm.
matriculate through the halls of academia, and many times
Mm-hmm.
we're taught how to learn how to do hobbies and things with our hands and be
Right,
creative
right.
creatives, but how to live well and to pass
Yes.
that wellness on to another generation is not always
Right.
some things that we talk about in our families or our churches. And then to
Right.
just talk about it, it not only needs to be a dialogue on it, but it needs
Yes.
to be defined in a way where it could be really
That's
concrete.
good.
And so one of the things I hope we're able to do as we continue
Right.
these times is begin to form and frame a definition
That's
of
good.
wellness for other people. We can utilize
Yes.
all types of definitions for wellness,
Yes.
but for me, wellness is the practice of healthy habits so
Mm.
that we can obtain a better physical,
Right.
mental,
Yes.
relational,
Yes.
financial,
Right.
spiritual, environmental,
Talk to
vocational,
us.
social outcome so that
Uh-huh.
instead of surviving, we can thrive.
That's it.
One of the things the Spirit of God put in my inside of me was that we have
Hmm.
so many deaths and are watching people be in decline.
Mm.
But the Word of God teaches us you don't necessarily have to be sick to die.
That's
And
it.
so when
That's
you
come on,
look
come
at
on.
Methuselah, he was not sick, he was translated.
Right.
And so I'm not
Yes.
suggesting that there isn't a termination
Yes.
of the time that we're here, but it should not always come with a cane. It should not always
Right.
come with
Right.
anxiety and with depression
Yes.
and broken
Yes.
relationships and financial
Yes.
distresses. When we learn how to live well, we can control better the
Yes.
outcomes,
Yes.
even when we've got opposition and difficult times. What do you think
Yes.
about that?
No, I think you hit the nail right on the head. And I love that you said the practice of healthy habits. And too often when we're looking at habits, one of the questions I often ask in sessions is, who was your model of wellness? Who was your model of a healthy
My,
relationship? Who was your
my,
model of being physically healthy? And when we
yes,
think about it, many of us struggle because we don't have healthy models before us. And so it's
yes,
hard to chase a goal, chase a dream when you don't have healthy models. You don't have a healthy mentor. You don't have healthy parents and relationships and healthy families. So we fall into what I like to call a culture of chaos. And that becomes our norm. And we think as long as there's chaos, then that is healthy. And we have to change the trajectory of our thinking patterns so that we go, Dr. Rita Walker out of the University of Houston says it this way, that so many of us have normalized trauma and all of that in our lives till we no longer realize when we are in a catastrophic situation, and we no longer have the capacity of saying, I need help, because we've normalized it. And I say it this way, we go in combat and survival mode so long, just like we are in the military, till when things finally do calm down, we don't know how to calm ourselves down and live a well-balanced life in that return as well. So I think it's a problem that we have in our community. And can I dare say it, Dr. Story, even in our churches.
Marty, I believe you done stepped on it. We may as well stand on it. One of the
Right.
things that I believe that when you have individuals that want to be athletes, they have
Yes.
trainers and coaches.
Come.
When
Come.
people want to be
That's
financially
good.
successful, they have
That's good.
mentors that come alongside them.
That's
They have
good.
life coaches that come
That's
alongside them,
good.
and they do whatever it takes to ensure that the outcome and the goal that that individual is
Yes.
attempting to reach, that they're pushing and pressing them into it. And when we are trying
Love
to
it.
live well,
Love it.
just like you're saying, we've got to have some healthy role models. We need some
Yes.
mentors. We need some
Yes.
coaches that can give
Yes.
us what we need. They can give us tips and tools. They can help
Yes.
train us so that we can get to that place called well.
And can I say this too? In that process, one, we have to lay aside our own pride and stop,
Wow.
because especially as men, and I'm going to say this, especially as Black men, we see asking for help as a weakness, when in actuality it's a sign of strength, saying I don't know it all, and I have some blind spots in my life that I need help, and I need to shore that up. One of the biggest lessons I learned in life, Dr. Story, in becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a business owner of a small, but to be the glory, a future large corporation, I needed to find a mentor that knew had already navigated through spaces I had never been through before. So I needed a business coach to teach me how to be an effective CEO, number one. So that was one mentor that I had. Two, I needed to get a stronger therapist and someone to help me along the way so I can keep my mind while I was trying to keep the business. Then three, I had to get a financial coach to change my thought process and help me to understand and have a new relationship with money, not only for me personally, but for the business as well. I then needed, so look at all these coaches I had. Then I found out I needed a fitness coach, someone to make sure that I made sure that my health, so that now that I'm financially strong, I'm now physically stronger. And then I had to even go deeper and get my spiritual, get a stronger relationship with my pastor. So look at all those coaches that I have just to keep
But Marty,
me sane.
let me ask you this. Did you have to pay for it? Because see, it's not just enough to go out there and get it.
Yes.
Sometimes if you're going to be well, you've got to be willing to pay the cost to become well. Talk to us about that.
Come on. You know, Dr. Story, and I'm so glad you say that. Anyone who is not willing to invest in themselves are not worth working in a pie factory. My mom said that the easiest job in the world is working in a pie factory. And you can't keep a job at a pie factory, then you're a sorry son of a biscuit. And in that, I had to learn to appreciate and love me enough till I was willing to make sure I paid the people, because there's a difference when you paying somebody versus someone who's just volunteering their time. See,
hold on. Let me add this in. So
yes.
I want to add this question before you go too far. You don't think you could have Googled this kind of service? You don't believe you could have YouTubed your way to this place?
I started off Googling and YouTube, but found that I did not still have someone that I could talk to. So it gave me the idea of it, but it didn't give me the steps and practicality of how to live that out. And so I'm going to put this out there. I was paying my business consultant more than I was paying myself. Let me say that again. I was paying my business consultant more than I was paying myself, because I knew that it was going to be a long-term investment, and I couldn't be worried about what I have now as opposed to seeing what God is promising me in my future.
That's a whole word, baby, because you were paying not for your instantaneous wellness, but for your future wellness. And so there are times where when I'm out walking, I'll see old people walking past me all fast. I'm like, wait a minute. But they paid for that stuff earlier. Because sometimes some of them old people be making me mad, because I'm sweating and huffing and puffing, trying to get on my way. And I'm like,
water.
Catch yourself, baby. Breathe, baby, breathe. And then they come like, good morning. You know, and I'm sitting up here like, you take your ancient self. But one of the things... Okay, I'm sorry, but
you are right.
They did,
but it's the truth.
They had to choose to say, I'm going to be healthy all throughout this life. That if my body fails, it will not be because I didn't give it what it needed. I didn't work it out. I didn't fuel it the way that I needed to fuel it, because I want to be well. And Marty, I love the fact that you invested now for later.
Yes.
I love that. And I love that.
Dr. Story, when you do that, people are going to criticize you. They're going to talk about you, especially the ones, well, if I were you, and I cut them out of, you are not me. You don't have, I know what God has told me. I know where I'm at. I know the gifts and talents that I have, and I know where he's telling me I need to go. You preached a word on this past Sunday. Good God from heaven. And that thing spoke to me so well when you were in 2 Kings and you talked about now get it. And I'm going to challenge everyone in this wellness. Now get it. See, now is an immediate word that speaks to the immediate time. It doesn't say, well, get it tomorrow. It doesn't say, I should have gotten it yesterday. You said now. in this hour, get it. And I'm going to challenge everyone in this hour right now, while you have breath in your body, you go get it, and don't let anything stop you from getting what you need to be blessed in, from getting and achieving the vision and goals that God has given you. Because if you don't go get it now, and you be like the one that buried it in the sand, what did God do? He called them evil and wicked. He's going to take that gift and talent and give it to someone else. And you're wondering why other people are being blessed that have less talent than you, because they're willing to go get it now and not wait for something else to happen. So in our wellness, go get it now,
Yes.
now.
Yes. Now, and that's so poignant, because the immediacy of change,
Mm-hmm.
it
Yes.
is always there. The immediacy of change. Marty, I don't care what nobody say. Baby, this Wellness Wednesday, and if
Yes,
the
it is.
Lord delay is coming, it's gonna be Thursday. Because there's
Yes.
something so immediate about what we need to be doing. We need to immediately change our minds
That's
about
it. That's
what
it.
we're thinking. We need to immediately
That's
change
it.
what comes out of our mouths. That I can't
That's
do it.
it.
I'm hurting so bad. I can't do it. My doctors say I can't. Your doctors will never tell you you cannot do something to improve your health. They'll never
Mm-hmm.
tell us that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something immediate about wellness that's so necessary when you travel. I just come back into the country, and I saw seniors in their 80s and 90s grabbing
Mm.
things and walking without cane, not
Right.
dealing with diabetes and
Right.
obesity in the same way that we're dealing with it. And we've got to get well. And we've got to get well now. But it's not just about our physical health. There are at least seven,
That's it.
if not
Right.
more, dimensions of wellness that
Yes.
we're going to be
Yes.
focusing on. We're going to be focusing on mental
That's
and
right.
emotional wellness. We're going to be
Yes.
focusing on physical wellness, social
Yes.
wellness. Many of us are so
Yes.
isolated and insulated. We were talking earlier about since COVID, many people have been working from home for almost the
You're
last
right.
3 years. And there's an isolation that gets created. And are we
Yes.
socially well? We're seeing so
That's
much
right.
violence in uprising
That's
in so
right.
many of our
That's
states.
right.
And it's because we're not socially well. But then there's financial
Yes.
wellness, spiritual wellness,
Yes.
environmentally well. Do you have plants in your home so that the air quality
Mm.
of your home is
That's
good?
right.
Y'all, we've got to create that environmental wellness, and then vocational
Yes.
wellness. That on our
Yes.
jobs, are we well? Are we making sure that we're putting aside the money that we need, not just for today, but even for our future? But vocational wellness is
That's
also
right.
ensuring that if we're wanting to matriculate, or if we're wanting to be elevated or go to another level on our jobs vocationally, what
That's
are you
right.
doing? Are you ensuring that you're networking? There's so many
That's
things to
right.
vocational wellness. And so we're going to be
That's right.
discovering so many of those things, Marty, as we move forward, because connecting
I love
those
it.
make us well. They make us
Yeah,
well.
I totally agree. And one of the things I think that we struggle with the most is relational wellness, and what
Mm.
intimacy looks like within our
Ooh,
families, within
yes,
friendships.
yes.
There's this beautiful book that talks about set boundaries and find your peace. And that is all about relational development and relational wellness, and what that entails. Now, Dr. Story, you
Beautiful.
have what I like to call the, I believe the three T's that we're going to be doing with wellness, and what those three T's look like. We ain't talking about Tony either, but we talking about the three
Yeah.
T's. Can you tell us those three T's, please?
Yeah, well, the way Marty and I are going to be laying out this time that we have together, we're going to give you guys some upfront information about the topic that we're
Mm-hmm.
going to be doing. So every time we come together, you're going to know the topic for Wellness Wednesday. And then once
Right.
we discover that topic, we're going to have the talk. We're going to have people to come
That's
in to
it.
help us. We're going to share what we know from our own vantage point, but we're going to get you the best information and the best
That's right.
individuals that can help us with it after the topic and after the talk. every time we're together, we're going to leave with some
Yes,
tips. Baby, you're going to know how
that's
to do
right.
that thing at home by yourself. We're going to make sure
Yes,
that there's some tips that you can practice, that you could do on your own, things that are obtainable immediately for yourself
yes,
that you can do.
yes.
And so I hope that that helps. What do you think, Marty? I think we
I
got
think
something
that's going to
going.
be great because I think what we have to do, what we call are some homework assignments. Because if we're talking about
Yes,
being well, it is when we
yes,
talk about now doing it and now get it. We have to make sure we are operating in the now, and the tips are
yes,
going to be just that to help you in the now because that
yes,
is so imperative. So
yes, yes.
excellent, Dr. Story. This has been amazing with the intro. So we're getting it right this time with the Mac in the back. We so glad you in back there and Mac in the back. Yes,
Thank you, Lord.
right.
Thank you, Lord.
Because we be done messed it all up.
Baby, we been had to write it in crayon and make a copy of it and then just pass it around the world because we weren't able to get
Right, right.
it.
Remember the old school before they had Xerox copiers? They just had the thing that the machine you just turn to crank it
Yes,
out.
and
We be doing. We going back
the
to old school.
duplexer, the
Yes,
duplexer. Yeah.
yes.
Or Marty, do you remember what was the little film thing, the little black carbon thing that you
Right, right. And the little tracing thing.
Yes.
Listen, is that
Oh,
old
you
school or what?
old, you old, you old.
Listen, we are seasoned and experienced. That's what it is. Trying to
Yes.
stay
Yes.
well and teaching you how to live well. And that's what it's
Yes.
all about. Now, Dr. Story, we're going to come back on Wednesday, November 23rd. That is the Wednesday
Yes.
right before Thanksgiving, because we want to
Yes.
make sure. Is that the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? I think that's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
I believe so.
Yes,
I believe so. And baby,
it
we're gonna be
is.
talking about that Thanksgiving, that holiday wellness.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
that is so
Yeah.
imperative. So because too many fights happen during the holidays
Yeah.
because we don't know how
Yeah.
to get along with ourselves or other
Yeah.
people, and we're holding
Yeah.
on to too much bitterness from the past and how to
Yeah.
give forgiveness and what that looks like in a realistic way. So we will be
Yes.
back on Wednesday, November 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time. And so we are so excited. Now, Dr. Story, for those who may not know how to follow you, how do we follow you and how do we keep in touch? Because we're going to be giving some pre-homework assignments that we want everyone to check out before we, and maybe that pre-homework assignment is measuring your level of wellness.
You know what? Let's
Come
do
on.
it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. We're gonna
Okay.
put that out there and remind them to measure their level of wellness and maybe we
Yes.
can get a little something that they can download and get it off of our pages.
Okay.
I'm gonna put something together and along with
Okay.
you. And we're going to put it out there, and our listeners and viewers will be able to get a hold of it. But if you want to get a hold of me, I am Dr.
Yes.
Margarita Story, and I am on Facebook. I'm on YouTube, Instagram.
Yes.
I am
Yes.
there under Dr. Margarita Story. I'm with on Facebook every day, praying at noon with Will You
Yes.
Pray With Me? And I am with this gentleman Wednesdays. You got to figure out when we coming, baby. We're going to be about twice a month.
Twice a month there. We're
But
going to be
we're going
every
to,
other week. So yes.
yeah, yes, every other week. But just stay tuned. We want you well. We want you to
That's
live
right.
well. And I thank
That's
God
right.
for this brother because he's doing it and doing it and doing it well.
Well, thank you. Listen, doing it well. And Dr. Story, I'm so excited to be partnering with you in December with our men's conference that we're going to be doing,
Yeah,
our 2-day men's
yeah,
conference that we're so excited.
yes,
So we'll have more information about that's
yes,
coming out. We will be
yes,
live in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
yes,
And let me tell you,
yes,
as my grandma, we just so peacock proud of everything that we are doing and partnering together because
yes,
our whole goal is to make sure sure that we are living well. And, thank you again, Dr. Story. I cannot wait till our next show on Wednesday,
Me
November
either.
23rd, as we
Yeah.
challenge people in their level of wellness in all areas of your life. So in this journey called life, we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame, but we want you to be well. And how do you become well? By speaking up, speaking out, and living so that you might enjoy your best life. God bless you, and we will see you next time. Take care.